You're 19, you love cars, you have a Mustang.
Yeah.
There has to be a story on how you became to love cars and why the Mustang, and that's where we begin.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, going to car shows, and the car shows in this area, they're all a lot older cars, a lot of American cars, Camaros, Corvettes, stuff like that. So growing up, I always kind of preferred an American car, especially the Mustang was always my favorite. So my father actually, he bought a Mustang. He bought the GT. It was like a 07 GT, silver. Unfortunately, he did have to sell it because he was getting way too many speeding tickets in it.
That's not what you want?
No, not at all. So he traded that for a minivan, actually. But
Ooh, big downgrade there.
Yeah, exactly.
How many speeding tickets in the minivan?
Probably about the same.
That's tragic. Oh,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
horrible.
Yeah, it's not about the car, it's about the driver.
I guess at this stage, maybe a bicycle would be better.
Yeah, walking.
Yeah. How about just walking? Even on a bicycle, it's limited at 20, he'd be doing 40.
Exactly. Those downhills.
Oh my god. So basically, your passion comes from there, and you're growing up, you're getting your license, and you tell yourself, I want to buy a car. So what did you do to be able to buy a car, and what was the process when you finally were ready?
Well, I knew I was going because my 92 Civic, it was dying. It was at the shop, and it died at the shop. They couldn't start it to drive it into the bay to work on it. So I was just getting ready for Ken Upel to take it out, and then I drove right to the Ford dealership, said I want to test drive a Mustang. The guy gave me about a 20-minute speech, no lie, about how if I break any rules while driving, he's going to call the cops on me, kick me out of the car, or make me walk back, He gave me a full speech, and I did the test drive. I didn't get the cops called on me, and yeah, we came back. I said I want the car. I bought it, surprised them, because he thought I was just some kid, who was just wanting to joyride a Mustang.
Yeah.
So, did that, bought it. It was a day after Boxing Day, I picked it up, and history from there.
Yeah.
2018.
That's one of the things we're talking about is, sales rep and sales guy. I've said it before. If you're into cars, that's even better. If you're not and you just need a living, that's absolutely fine. No disrespect there, but when you're a kid and when you go look at cars, it can be very interesting how people treat you. So I remember way back, I was 14, 15. I went in Paris with my godfather to the Lamborghini dealership.
Oh yeah.
So he dropped me off and I go inside and I start to look at stuff. And the guy looked at me like, what's up? What do you want?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm here to see Lamborghinis, then you want to drive one. And he smirked at me like, I don't think you know how this place works. and I was there for a few minutes, and then basically the head mechanic showed up. And he's like, oh, Jordan, come. And the guy is like, what? And we went in the basement because the dealership doesn't have a lot of surface area, but they have a lift, and basically you would go in the basement, and that's where they would do any kind of work on the cars. And that's where basically I discovered my first Lamborghini, which was a Murcielago. And I got to sit in it, and the guy started the motor for me, and I felt, that rumble behind me. And I will remember my entire life, just the V12 starting from cold. Just I was like, At that moment, I became a car guy. For me, that was the moment right there.
Yeah, I remember my first supercar. Well, I don't know if you might even consider it a hypercar. It was the Carrera GT, a Porsche Carrera GT. And my aunt or uncle, whatever, in Hungary, because that's where my dad's from. We were in Hungary, and there's really no speed limits on the highways there, especially late at night. So going 200 in the backseat of a Carrera GT is pretty intense.
Yeah, that's interesting, because last week I was with Laurent, who has a Spider, and I was actually saying how the back of that Spider reminds me of the back of the Carrera GT.
Yeah, exactly. The two iconic, big lopes there.
Yeah. I've never seen one in real life. a Carrera GT.
I never saw one either in like Canada.
We do a lot of things in Ottawa. We drive, we go around, we have rallies. The big club, the way you explained to me, for the Mustang.
Yeah.
So I guess you have people from all ages in the club.
Yeah, it's anything. Anywhere from 64 and a half all the way up to 2020, maybe 2021. I don't even know yet. We have anything from Roushes to Shelbys to four-cylinder Mustangs. I mean, there's not a lot of four-cylinder Mustangs in the club, but there's enough of us, and you know, we all go cruise. There's meets. There's over almost, I think, like 500 members. So it's a massive club. The Ottawa Mustang Club is very old too.
Yeah.
It's existed since Mustangs existed.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I would have to check out when that is because I actually don't know.
1964 and a half.
Yeah. 64 and a half, okay.
Yeah, the first Mustang they ever made is a 64 and a half.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So you work, in the automotive industry.
Yeah.
You sell cars.
Yeah.
How did you come to selling cars?
So I've worked at dealerships for going on 3 years now, I think. I started actually when I was in high school doing co-op. So I did half my day at school and half my day at Ottawa Honda. So that's where I met a bunch of great people, and I did sales there. I didn't do sales, but I was in the sales department learning, gaining as much info as I can. Anything from detailing cars, driving cars. I got to drive a couple Type Rs. Even actually just my Type R. You always see him in Ottawa with the camo wrap, and actually I detailed his car when I worked there, way back.
Detailing a Mustang, is there something specific you need to know for it? Is there like a special cranny where don't forget to go up in there because that's...
There's just it's the same on any car. I mean, especially the Type R is the worst car I've ever cleaned. It's so hard. It's got so many of these weird edges, and also because they only came in white or black, and white and black are the two hardest colors to clean. Black, if we had a specific wash mitt that was only for black Type Rs. Yeah, so because it couldn't have any sand or anything. So you scratch it, the paint scratch.
So it's funny because when I was doing the episode with Larry and he was talking to me, he's like, yeah, you have a black car. You know what it is, it's never clean. Except when you buy it, I went, you know why I said, because even when I saw it in the dealership and I took possession of it and I left with it, I knew it will never be that clean again.
Never.
So I just reject that. I'm like, it wasn't that clean anyway.
Yeah. No, it's pretty much easy. It's multi-step process. There at Ottawa Honda, we did it differently. So one person was a master of the outside of the car and the other person was a master of the inside of the car. And it worked very well. I've done detailing for too long to... I hate detailing. Honestly, I hate cleaning cars.
Yeah.
Even my own car. It's always dirty.
Yeah. That's a good segue to Canada and the winter.
Oh yeah.
Something we haven't touched on at all, but I think it's a great subject because a lot of the consideration of getting any car is, can I drive it in the winter when you're in Canada? We're gonna get snow for, if we're lucky, 4 months. 4 months.
Yeah, lately it's been longer.
Yeah, I don't like you anymore for saying that to my face, but that's okay. We're getting near that. So when driving a Mustang, when basically you don't have front wheel drive or you don't have 4-wheel drive, but you're stuck with rear wheel drive, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But once you have snow, how do you handle the winter? What do you do with the car? What's your approach to it?
Well, since I daily the car and I don't even have an underground parking spot, I park it actually on the street. Pretty much it has a mode for snow and wet. So if I'm just driving, I'll put it in that mode. But if I gotta, start the car and drive from at a red lane, it's really snowy, I have to turn, there's traction control and then there's advanced track. So I have to turn the advanced track off because turning traction control off really does nothing. So
you're just getting like, come on, move forward.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the first time. Before I just had a muffler delete, and now I have like the full straight pipe. So hopefully my neighbors won't hate me too much in the winter getting out. Because the only time I'd ever get stuck is when I'm first getting out of my parking spot. Because they don't plow as much as probably they should on the street where I live. So I sometimes park in a rut. And it's game over. I can't get out.
That's terrible.
I gotta
to bring a few logs, the shovel.
Well, I live in Westboro, so there's always people around who are willing to help push the car. So
that's good. That's good. You need to leave uphill, and you can just push it down and remove the stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Where I work, there's like a big it's like a turn this way and then turn this way and then turn it's like a big S bend, an L and then an S. And when it's really snowy outside, I always love to drift. Turn the advanced track off, and I can really get crazy angles. And my old general manager and the general sales manager, they used to bet on whether I was going to drift into the parking lot or not.
And with that $20, come on.
Yeah, exactly. They used to stand there and watch me because they could hear me coming down the side street. They'd just see me, oh, here he is, and just hand them the money, yeah.
I get that. As long as you don't see the ass of your car pass you on the side, usually you're fine. That's the rule of thumb.
I sent it into a snowbank one time, and I was driving my coworker's girlfriend home from the train station because he was busy with a customer, so he needed me to go get it, and I was the only person he trusted driving his girlfriend. But he's like, scare her. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you come on, you can scare her in your car. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I'm pulling in and I'm drifting, and he crashed straight into a snowbank, like I head-on into a snowbank. It was fluffy snow, there was no damage, but I definitely scared her.
Sure, I was actually shaking.
Yeah, and he's like, I told you to scare her, not crash your car.
Potato.
Yeah, exactly. It worked.
Yeah. What would be your next car?
My next car, This is probably the most controversial thing of the entire interview, but it more than likely will be a Mustang Mach-E.
Why?
Well, I mean, it's faster than any Mustang you can buy off the shelf right now. It's faster than, Mustang GT. It's faster than even a full bolt-on Mustang GT. You can do crazy stuff. I mean, 3.5 seconds 0 to 60 if you get the GT Performance package, which is probably what I would go for, the Mach-E. Even the base model one's still 5 seconds 0 to 60, which is pretty much what I'm doing right now. Electricity is the future. Probably in 4 years when I upgrade, I'll probably have a family or something like that, so need an SUV, but still fun. I want to drive a fun car, and I don't know.
Yeah, so for me, the aspect that's controversial, I don't think it's the electrical aspect.
It's the Mustang part. The Mustang is gas, fast, loud. Yeah.
So I can accept an electrical Mustang, but if I'm right, it has 4 doors. No?
Yeah, exactly. It's an SUV. It's a full SUV.
That's the part where I have an issue.
Yeah.
You tell me, here is an electrical Mustang, and it's, a super coupe, and it's heavier, and it's slow, and it's fast, and it doesn't make a noise, but it's like, boom, you're there.
Have you seen the new electric Mustang? The electric, the Cobra E, they call it?
I don't know if I've seen it yet.
It set a world record. It has 1,400 horsepower and almost 2,000 foot-pounds of torque, and just set a world record, and it's all electric.
Yeah, so I don't remember what I was watching the other day. Maybe it was VinWiki or something like that, and they were talking about different electric cars. At some point, it was about the new racer they're producing. It's 2,000 horsepower. I'm like, what?
You see, they just broke the world speed record, eh? The SSC Tartura?
Yeah.
331 miles per hour. That's insane.
It's super low. It's the bubble in the front with and you're like...
I watched a video of it drag racing a Bugatti Veyron, which when I was, 10, 12, that was the car. That was if I wanted the craziest car out there, it'd be a Bugatti Veyron. I didn't like the styling of it. Didn't look that cool, but it was fast.
For the you get a Bugatti, let's say money is not a thing. You get a Bugatti if you love cars because of the engineering that goes into it.
Yeah, W16. It's crazy.
It's insane. The amount of gas, the amount of air that you need to suck up to feed that. When you look at the numbers, not just the horsepower per kilo and everything, but when you look at actually the displacement that you need, the amount of gas you're sucking, the amount of air you need to ingest, how you have to cool everything. It's
all rear engine too, so that's even harder, I think they're saying that the Veyron at top speed, it burns an entire tank of gas, full from top to bottom in 16 minutes.
Yes, I remember when it was James May did it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It was impressive to just see him. He's like, he's gonna beat 300 kilometers per hour really soon, and you can see him being like, focused at that.
Yeah, that was great. That was on the bank track, right?
Yeah. If I'm correct, I think they only go in one direction at those speeds. To have a world record, you're supposed to go in both directions, but because the track...
Because there was some weird, so that...
Because they always drive it in one direction, they didn't want, because the tires would be... It's very interesting. They explained it a lot better than...
Yeah, because the Veyron, it has a special type of tire where it's glued on and has like a foam insert inside that's glued the walls together, and...
It's... My tires are a lot more simple.
Even the new ones, they just use like a normal tire. 300 miles per hour, should be good.
Should be good is the key word.